Can I ask you a question? How many motivational videos have you watched to find yourself back in the same place a week later? You felt inspired. You took notes. You said this time is going to be different. But somehow nothing really changed. Not because you didn't want to change, not because you weren't capable, but because motivation was never the real problem. The real problem was awareness, because motivation can make you start. But only awareness is going to help you grow. Only awareness is going to help you actually finish. Right? Today I want to challenge one of the biggest myths in personal development. You don't need another motivational speech. Let me say that again. You don't need another motivational speech. You need a clear understanding of who you are. So let's get into it. We've been taught that if we could just become more motivated, everything would change. We'll finally wake up earlier. We'll become a better spouse, a better parent, a better leader. We'll build the business, fix the relationship, reach the goals, right? So we chase motivation. Another podcast, another book, another conference, another YouTube video, another quote to post on social media. But here's the question. If motivation was enough, why do so many people stay stuck? Because motivation gives you energy. But awareness is what's going to give you direction. And without direction, energy is wasted. You can be incredibly motivated and still make the same mistakes. You can work harder and still produce the same results. Because if you don't know what's driving your behavior, you'll keep repeating it. Think about it, right? Think about it. How many times have you promised yourself, I'm going to be more patient? I'm going to communicate better. I'm going to stop procrastinating. I'm going to stop reacting emotionally. And then a stressful situation happened. Someone challenged you. Someone disappointed you. Pressure showed up and suddenly you became the version of yourself you promised you wouldn't be. Why? It's because pressure exposes what motivation hides. Pressure exposes what motivation hides. Motivation speaks to your intentions. Awareness reveals your patterns, and you can't change a pattern you refuse to recognize. That's why so many people stay frustrated. They're fighting behaviors without understanding the beliefs, the fears, the wounds, or the habits creating those behaviors. They keep treating the symptoms instead of the source. So what's the answer? I keep saying it. Self-awareness. Self-awareness, self-awareness, self-awareness. Knowing what drives you, knowing what drains you, knowing your communication style, knowing your emotional triggers, knowing your strengths, your blind spots, because awareness changes everything. Awareness changes everything. When you're aware, you stop asking, why does this keep happening to me? And you begin asking, what's this trying to teach me? Awareness shifts you from being the victim of your habits to becoming the architect of your growth. That's real transformation. Not with inspiration, right? Transformation doesn't begin with inspiration. It begins with intentional, right, reflection, right? With intentional reflection. Now here's what I don't want. What I don't want. I don't want you to leave this video feeling inspired, but remaining unchanged. Because inspiration fades. Awareness is what's going to help you to grow. So let me give you 5 shifts. When you stop chasing motivation and start pursuing self-awareness, these 5 principles will help you grow with intention instead of living on autopilot. All right, so let's dive in. Shift number 1. Awareness helps you find the root, not just the result. All right, awareness helps you find the root, not just the result. Most people focus on behavior. Awareness focuses on the source. If you're impatient, ask why. If you're defensive, ask why. If you avoid conflict, ask why. If you procrastinate, ask why. Every behavior has a root. Healthy growth doesn't happen, right? You trim the branches. All right, you trim the branches. It happens, right? It happens when you deal with the roots. When you deal with the roots. Shift number 2. Awareness turns reactions into intentional responses. Life will always bring pressure. People will disappoint you. Plans will change. Conflict will happen. The question isn't, will pressure come? It's going to come. The question is, who will you become when it does? Awareness creates a pause, all right? A pause between what happens and how you respond. That's where emotional intelligence lives. That's where maturity grows. Shift number 3, awareness reveals your blind spots. Every person has strengths. Every person has weaknesses. The problem isn't having blind spots. The problem is pretending that you don't. Your greatest strength can become your greatest weakness if you don't recognize it. All right, confidence can become pride. Attention to detail can become control. Passion can become impatience. Awareness keeps your strengths healthy. Shift number 4. Awareness improves every relationship. The better you understand yourself, the better you understand others. You stop expecting everyone to think like you, communicate like you, lead like you, love like you. Instead, you become curious, you ask questions, you extend grace, you communicate with purpose. Healthy relationships begin with healthy self-awareness. Shift number 5. Awareness gives you a growth plan instead of wishful thinking. All right? Awareness gives you a growth plan instead of wishful thinking. Motivation says, I hope I can change. Awareness asks, what specifically needs to change? All right? What specifically needs to change? Motivation is emotional. Awareness is intentional. Growth becomes measurable. Right? Growth becomes measurable. You stop guessing. You start improving with little by little, day by day, decision by decision. That's how lasting transformation happens. All right. So imagine what your life would be like if you stopped trying harder and started understanding yourself better. Imagine leading with confidence because you know your strengths. Communicating with wisdom because you know your tendencies. Building healthier relationships because you understand your patterns. That's real growth. Not hype, not emotion, not temporary excitement, real transformation. That's exactly why we have created the True You Intelligence Black Book. Because we realized something, right? Most people don't need another motivational speech. I told you that earlier. They need a mirror. They need a way to stop guessing about who they really are, all right, and start growing with clarity. The True You Intelligence Black Book was designed to help you do exactly that. And inside, you're going to find guided reflection exercises, powerful questions, communication insights, leadership prompts, practical tools that will help you identify your patterns, discover your strengths, recognize your blind spots, and make intentional decisions every single day. This isn't just another journal you'll write in once and then forget. It's a roadmap for becoming the healthiest version of yourself. All right? We believe clarity comes because before confidence, right? Clarity comes before confidence. Self-awareness comes before transformation. And understanding yourself changes everything. If you're tired of chasing motivation, and you're ready to grow with purpose, click the link in the description. Click the link in the description and get your copy of the True You Intelligence Black Book today and stop guessing. Stop guessing. Start growing. And before you leave, I want you to answer one question. What's one area of your life where you need more awareness, not more motivation? Drop your answer in the comments. I love to hear your story, and your honesty might give someone else the courage to start their own journey. So if this message, if what we talked about today challenged you, share it with someone who's always looking for motivation, but is finally ready for that transformation. And make sure you don't forget to subscribe, because every single week we're helping people discover who they truly are so they can communicate with confidence, lead with purpose, build stronger relationships, and live with clarity. And remember this, motivation may get you moving. It may get you started, but self-awareness determines where you're going. When you know yourself, you stop surviving on inspiration and you start building a life of intentional growth. So until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and never stop becoming your true you. Peace out.